Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Loot. I'm Dan.
And I'm Vinny Pro.
And today we have a really cool terrain set from our friends at Drakenstone, and this is a complete set called the Dungeon of the Orc Lord.
So, the Dungeon of the Orc Lord comes with 56 pieces of handcrafted terrain directly in the good old US of A.
Now, the cool part about all this is everything seems completely customizable, but at the same time, it's fully ready to play right out of the box. You can see it's really sturdy.
So, the good thing about this stuff is it's very lightweight. I've noticed that from just picking up the few pieces that I have in front of us. Like I said, there's 56 pieces in this set. I don't want to lay it all out because it'll be all over the place.
Yeah.
So we picked out a few key pieces so we can show you them. And everything is nice, lightweight. It seems pretty durable. I mean, I can't see this breaking. It's resin. So, I mean, unless you're smashing it with a hammer, you should be all right.
You don't want to smash it with a hammer.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend
smash your stuff with a hammer, okay?
Especially this stuff, because it's pretty nice. I like it.
It is. But yeah, like I said before, I think the design here for these terrain pieces is that they're ready to play right out of the box. And with this particular set, the Dungeon of the Orc Lord, there's a particular map that obviously the 56 pieces come together to make. And in addition to the set itself, there's a quest that can be played by your players on this map. But in addition to that, because, like I said, because it's ready to play out of the box, as your players are going through the map, you can very easily take the pieces out from under the table and snap them on as your players are making their way through the map.
So now the good thing about this set is that every one of these pieces has magnets in the end of it. So when you're snapping them on your table, they'll clip together. They're not going to hold together if you smash them across the table, but if you jostle them a little bit, it'll keep your map intact.
Yeah. If you bump the table or hit it with your hand, you'll be okay.
I wouldn't recommend giving a heavy push to it,
right,
but it'll hold as is. Now, the pieces themselves, like Dan was saying, they do come ready to play. You don't even need to paint these. The quality on the resin, I guess, I'm not sure what he does to the paint or whatever he puts in there, the epoxy or something. It looks like fieldstone. It looks like granite. It's nice. It's durable. A little thing about these pieces compared to some of the other companies that make terrain tiles, he uses half walls. So now when I say half walls, a lot of companies will use full 1-inch to 2-inch walls on the side of your terrain piece, right? Good and bad. It's nice for aesthetics. If you have hidden traps in walls, some companies make those pieces like sliding doors, things like that. The problem with a full wall, in my eyes, is that if you're sitting across the table and you got your 1-inch mini sitting on this piece, I can't see it from across the table.
Mm-hmm.
With a half wall, the way it's set up, you can easily see where your figures are, where your enemies are, where your friends are. Mm-hmm. It's nice, it's clean, it's neat.
And it works well in person, and also if you're playing online, it works well. Your players can see it through the webcam too.
Correct. It's very accessible through a webcam, I've noticed. I've actually tested it to see if it works as well as they state it does on the internet. And it's pretty good. And the great thing about it is that with the magnets, you can put it on a small table next to you with a single webcam and just clip 2, maybe 3, 4 pieces together, and that's it. That's all you need. And you can move everything around for your party as needed. There is a variety of parts, and we're going to get into that now. So you have hallways in different varying sizes. There's a 3-inch, there's a 6-inch, this is 5-inch. Then you got cross sections. You have stairs of varying sizes and altars. They actually have doors, right? And you can get different styles of doors. You can get a fully sealed door or one that has stained glass inside of it.
Stained glass windows.
Which is really nice if you ask me. I mean, especially if you're playing with lighting effects, which also this company sells. They sell pieces that have LED lights inside of them that you could use for lanterns, I believe, and lampposts and like flame sconces and stuff like that.
If you check out Drakenstone's full catalog, they have a ton of different stuff with a ton of different options within each set. They have inns and taverns, they have buildings, they have dungeons, 3D stackable too. So just really a ton of stuff out there for your games.
I think there was a gladiator arena in there as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And you can actually buy individual pieces, so you don't have to just buy a full set. So if you have a smaller set and you just want to get a few maybe straight hallways, or maybe a turn, or a dead-end turn.
With this particular set, you have a total of 921 playable
Squares,
1-inch
yeah.
squares. Which, again, you could have your players go through and play the entire quest for the Dungeon of the Orc Lord. But once that's done, because everything is so customizable, as a GM, you do have the option to totally change up the map and make a completely new dungeon for another quest that's custom-made for your players.
Reusability.
Right.
Reusability.
Replayability.
Replayability. There we go. That's what it's all about, especially when you're paying good money for quality tiles and you don't want them to just sit there and collect dust on your shelf because what am I going to do with them next?
Right.
Another key part about these pieces, you can use them with other companies. They're 1-inch squares, so anything that is a 1-inch tile from another company, you can easily just line it up right next to it and it'll fit perfect. There are, however, one thing that I really do like about these compared to some of the other sets. When you buy these, right, if I'm buying a 2-inch by 5-inch hallway, I am getting a true 2-inch by 5-inch hallway. Whereas some companies use like a 1/2 inch of tile, 1/2 inch to wall, and then a full inch next to it. And it's only really one tile that you're able to play on, unless you're putting the guys on the line and then things get a little screwy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. When I was checking out the specs for this set, I don't believe I saw anything in terms of inches. Everything was in terms of playable squares.
Correct.
Right. Which is a lot more convenient if you're trying to map out a particular quest.
Correct. Now, with all the good things about this set that I like, there is one drawback that I do have.
What's that?
And it's not end gaming for me either, so it's not that terrible. What I don't like is that everything is a stationary piece, right? So like this piece here, this T-junction, I can't break this down, right? So
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky if I need to like use it for something else, whereas sometimes when you get from these other companies, they're smaller pieces that they'll be like straightaways or just a individual section or a turn or a small corner piece. These are full plates. That's the only drawback that I find.
I get what you're saying, but like for me personally, I think that's a positive because like I said before, if I'm trying to custom make a map for a custom quest, I think it's much less, let's say, overwhelming. If I have bigger pieces like this that I could customize and move around rather than just a few 1-inch squares at a time. I can't even begin to wrap my head around making an entire map with smaller pieces.
I've had the pleasure of doing that multiple times with other companies where you have smaller pieces. I mean, you do get more flexibility,
sure,
so to say. But once again, you do end up having 10 million pieces. It's like when you go out and you buy a Lego set, right? And you just have all these pieces in front of you. You have all this customization that you could do with it. But it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all these pieces?
Yeah, it's almost like you don't even know where to begin. You don't know where to start. But see, that's why I like this. That's why I see that as a plus, because I can look at these pieces in front of me and I feel like, okay, like my mind can start working. It's not overwhelmed. And I could make a custom map, and I could do it probably within just a few minutes if I just start to, reconfigure some of these pieces here. Have some fun.
Correct.
Look at that. So, guys, if you like what you see here and you'd like to purchase the Dungeon of the Orc Lord from Drakenstone, you can find them at the links below. Let them know Audio Dungeon sent you with our coupon code of Draken15. That'll give you 15% off any purchase. And if there are any other items out there that you'd like us to review on Dungeon Loot, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next time on Dungeon Loot.